What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, guys. Oh man, it's a beautiful, beautiful Thursday where I am, at least. Just the sun has been shining. It's just amazing. I hope y'all having a great day. One more day until we hit the weekend. Make sure when you come in the room, you hit that like button so other people know that we live and we have a full room. What's up, Joseph? The first one. Vicky, shout out to you, Vicky. What's up? Chad Marchand, what's up, man? Anthony Manzano, shout out to you, man. What we gonna do today, man? I want to talk about an interview that Omar, Kelly, and Dave did. Some stuff that I want to talk about that they were talking about that I definitely agree with, and some things that I disagree with. And then it caused me to realize there's a difference in the long-term plan for the Miami Dolphins and the fan base, like what they feel that it should be. So we're gonna talk about it. And try to see y'all thoughts on it, because it's kind of getting to me, because it's like people have different outlooks on what the direction the team needs to head. So we're going to talk about it. I'm going to give my take on it, of course. Shout out JD Diesel in the house. What up, Anthony? Sean, shout out to you, man. Slim Pay checking in. Terrence, what's up, Terrence? Gregory Fontaine. Let me push this up some. Let's see. All right, Gregory Fontaine in the house. I'm getting sick and tired of people saying we're tanking. Man, just ignore it, man. They don't know football, man. Yo, as a Steelers fan, people think we are going to suck. What do you think? The Steelers, if you ask me, I mean, look at it. You got rid of Le'Veon Bell, and your backup running back was doing just as well. It's not about big-time players. Y'all will be fine, man. I don't know if y'all will be – I mean, y'all decline is coming anyway because Big Ben's getting up there. But y'all will be fine, man. Hey, TD, how's it going? I'm good, Sean, man. I'm good. I'm great. I can't complain, man. God is good. Y'all hit that like button. 20 people in the room, only 6 likes. Don't start to hate now. All right. Yo, at work, can't chat, but definitely listening. I got you, Jen. What's up, Cedric? Roll run in the house, evening. Bubba, sup? What's up with you, Sean? I'll agree with the Steelers sucking. LOL. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, if they play the Dolphins, then yeah, they're gonna suck. But nah, they should be fine. What's up, college man? TD, what's the difference between tanking and rebuilding? There ain't no difference, because tanking there's no such thing in football terms. It's just that's a media-driven word, okay? So there is no difference, because tanking it's a media-driven word. But rebuilding is basically saying, see, and thank you for saying that, because that's going to segue me into my conversation, all right? Let me explain rebuilding first off, and then I'll play along with the tanking thing and give you what people think that is. So, as a matter of fact, we'll start with tanking. What people think this term, this fictional, term tanking is basically trying to lose so that you can secure a high draft pick. You are intentionally trying to lose. The organization making sure that they strip all the talent from you, and people think we're tanking because that's what they're doing. It's not the case. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about what rebuilding means, and you'll see it fits so much more. Also tanking. Coaches not calling great plays, players not giving the best effort they can, which is why it's fictional, because players are trying to get their next contract. Just doesn't make sense to me. But that's what tanking is. Rebuilding, which we are doing, is totally different, okay? Rebuilding is, at one point in the organization, here's the path we're going to take. We're going to try to win by doing drafting good free agents, doing this and sustaining it and winning. And after about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years of the same crap, this isn't working. We need to scrap everything and change our approach to how we want to win. So instead of going to try to find the best free agents possible to win, now we're going to try to get players out of the draft, develop them, and win. That's a rebuild. So all these players we drafted just as free agents, trying to bring them in and make a good roster, let's get rid of them. So we just knocked the house down. Now let's rebuild using different materials. That's rebuilding. So let's go in the draft instead of all free agency. Have we gotten anybody in free agency, y'all? I mean, we picked up one or two people, but those are little picks that, okay, we think we can do something with this player. But have we done anything in free agency from a standpoint of a player that's known and going to contribute day one, and we know they're going to be an impact? No, because we're rebuilding. We're off of that type of organization. Now it's about the draft, developing young talent, and trying to secure that young talent long term. That's the difference. If I'm to entertain the word tanking, that's the difference, man. You never sent me my T-shirt. I don't know what you're talking about, Cedric. Did you claim it, or go email me, man? I don't want to leave nothing unchecked, man. Hey, TD, what's good? Been a minute. Shout out to you, Javier. It has, but hey, we here. We live, baby. Carlos Lewis, what's good, TD? I'm good. You ever consider doing a mock draft simulator live? Take opinions from Fins fans. That would be dope. I'll look at see what I can do. I have to set my other monitor up so I can see it all. I'm into doing whatever would be dope for our Fins fans. So I'm down for it. I'll look into it. It's just me when it comes to mock stuff. I'm gonna be honest. I just don't like it. Why I don't like it? For the simple fact that I'm still waiting on anyone in the last 15 years to tell me, has anybody guessed correctly who the Miami Dolphins were going to select in the first round, second round, third round? Has anybody guessed it correctly? I don't know a single pick that we guessed correctly that we knew we're getting that player. We are getting that player. I done seen mocks. I done seen this. I done seen that. And for 15 years, I ain't seen nobody right on who we've gotten. So am I to waste my time and just appease people? Oh, this is who it looks like we're going to get. I mean, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. If y'all knew somebody, hey, I knew we were going to get Pouncey. I knew we were going to get Tunsil. I don't know. Maybe y'all did, but y'all let me know. For 15 years, I have never heard somebody guess it right and somebody mock it right or anything. And y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. I just haven't. So for me, it's like, why? Everybody out here doing this mock this, or this is who we probably going to get, and X, Y, and Z. It never ends up that way. Now, if you had the number one pick overall, number two, number three, number four, or number five, that makes sense because ain't a lot of people in front of you. It's like, we know the top five players, and one of them is ours. Let's talk about which one we're going to get. We know we don't need a safety, so we're not, that makes sense. But drafting at 13, 17, 16, 15, and all that, I mean, I'm just saying. It's not about guessing right. It's about us getting the draft with the draft class. Why? Why I got to get with the draft class? I mean, I don't get it. I mean, don't get me wrong. If that's your thing, that's your thing, But only the Dolphins. Yeah, but that has nothing to do. We still don't pick the people that we keep on mocking. So it's just a way for us to get familiar with some of these guys. We gonna sit there and get familiar with 10 people, and ain't none of them gonna be on the roster. That's what I'm talking about. Getting familiar with the draft class. The people we gonna get familiar with probably ain't none of them we gonna draft. That's my whole point in all of this. That's all I'm saying. I got to get you familiar with 10 people that, especially if we only getting one, I don't know, man. But I see what you're saying as far as long term, because we might pick up one of them players in the future. I don't know. So it makes sense. Like I say, I'm going to look into it, see what I can do from a mock standpoint, if it's going to make y'all happy. I'm just letting you know my take on it. It's like, to me, wasted energy. Getting familiar with people that might not even be in the NFL after the first 4 years. Draft a guy that fits your scheme to compete. That's rebuilding. Yeah, but that's like 10% of rebuilding. Draft a guy that's going to fit your thing. But, you got to talk about what you're rebuilding from, what you're not doing anymore, what you're doing now, all that type of stuff. TD, if the Dolphins draft O-line in the first round, would you rather draft a offensive tackle Taylor or Andre Lillard? Taylor. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's part of it. Gotcha. All right, guys. So here's what I want to do first, all right? I want to play this little piece of this interview, and I want to talk about it because Omar Kelly and Dave, they were talking, and I'm gonna be honest. Whenever I was listening to them talking, it's almost like they listen to me sometimes because some of the stuff that they disagree with, they vehemently disagree with it, like they're tired of hearing Dolphin fans say it, and some of the stuff that was argued against it was kind of the same sentiments that I've been sharing. So I want to talk about it, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this, y'all. And I'm gonna keep on pausing so we can discuss this because this is where our fan base is, and I think we have to have a better understanding of what our direction is long term and what we're trying to do as an organization. Okay, versus just getting players and trying to win. This is bigger than on the field play. Football is so much bigger than on the field play, guys. Okay, this is gonna be they're gonna be having a conversation about keeping current players, drafting, and the way Patriots do things. And we're going to talk about it. Let me play it, guys.
I think the number one thing that you have to do in an organization is secure the talent that you have in-house. The top elite talents that you have in-house are Larry Tunsil and Xavier Howard.
Y'all let me know if y'all heard that. Y'all let me know if y'all heard that. TD, would you rather trade up or trade down? Depends. We'll talk about that. Let me write that down after we do this. Trade up or down. We'll talk about that after we do this, man. Y'all let me know if y'all heard that audio real quick, just in case, so I'll know if it's going to work or not. Let me know in the chat section if you heard that audio. Not really. Okay. 1 second. One moment, guys. Don't worry, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it in a second. I'm just hooking it up, man. A lot of echo. Ugh. I hope it works out, man. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's see if y'all can hear it this time. All right.
Is here, but has he really proven that he's an every down back? What wide receivers does anybody really want? What tight ends does anybody
They got a lot of tight ends on one. They got a lot of tight ends.
Any of them good?
They got 5 of them.
Listen,
cool, better.
The defense, tragically bad. Now you've gotten rid of Robert Quinn. You got rid of, well, you didn't get rid of Cam Wake's left. You've gotten rid of Andre Branch. Here's the question that I have. Your best pass rusher on this team is Charles Harris. Charles Harris.
Well, who was the best passer? Cameron Wake.
Yes.
But he was 38.
Yes.
So how are you going to look? The smart thing they did for the first time since Parcells stepped in, which was the first time since Nick Saban stepped in, which
is coming up now. What we're about to talk about, guys.
Get rid of everything. Okay, we're not going to win next year, and you decided that. Now the easy part's done, which is destroy everything. Okay, get rid of everybody who doesn't
build
fit.
It back.
As Nick Saban showed, as Parcells showed, you got to hit on drafts, and every year.
Here it goes. What we're going to talk about.
Done that since about 1968.
I think the number one thing that you have to do as an organization is secure the talent that you have in-house. The top elite talents that you have in-house are Larry Tunsil and Xavier Howard. Now, Xavier Howard, let's say you want to trade him for a first-round pick. Somebody in Oakland offers you a first-round pick. Is the 24th pick in the draft worth a Pro Bowl cornerback who's got 11 interceptions in
Well, that's not the question. The question is, is it worth the number one pick and $15 million a year? And is Xavier Howard going to be a great player 3 years from now when they're ready to win?
Thank you. Okay, so basically, Omar was saying he thinks that the number one thing an organization needs to do is secure the talent that they have on the roster right now. And I agree with that. You have to secure the talent that you have on your roster right now, okay? But the one thing he's not talking about is at the right cost, okay? So let's make sure we get this straight. He said, so he went further to say, you mean to tell me if somebody offers you a number 1 pick in the draft, do you trade Xavier Howard for a number 1 pick? For the 24th number 1 pick for a guy who has 11 interceptions in 2 years? So that shows you, okay? They're good. I like X's and Omar's. I rarely listen to them, but when I do, there's a lot I agree with and some that I disagree with, but they keep a good balance. That's why I like listening to them sometimes. Excuse me. But what I didn't so much agree with was Omar saying, basically Omar's sentiments are, you keep Xavier Howard. You don't trade a first-round pick, number 24, for an Xavier Howard, a guy who has 11 picks in the last 2 years and is a Pro Bowler. And that's where I disagree. Because to me, is there no limit? I always ask people this, and I would ask Omar the same thing. Okay, what if Xavier Howard wanted $40 million? And I know what Omar would say, well, come on, of course you don't then. Okay, then what is the price? What if he wants 20 million? Well, no, you don't, but he doesn't want 20 million. Okay, then what is the price? And Dave kindly said to him, so it's not whether you trade Xavier Howard for a first round number 24 overall pick. And that's what most of the general fan base thinks. Oh, because if they traded Xavier Howard right now for a first round pick, 24 overall, half the fan base would be like, what are they thinking? They get rid of a first-round pick just for another first-round talent, even though he wasn't, but he's still a talent of it, right? And to me, people only tell half the story. You're not trading Xavier Howard for a first-round pick. You're trading Xavier Howard plus $15 million contract, maybe 16, plus the fact on, is he even going to be good 3 years from now when you're ready to compete? Is he going to be, see, and that's where people don't want to answer the question. Do you go get a first round pick for a player who is wanting 15 million, has injuries, and you don't know if he's going to be good 3 years from now? And that's the real question to ask. Not whether, you don't trade the first round for a great guy. No, you trade any player that's been on a roster for 3 years and you don't know. He's up for trade. You don't know if you'll trade him. I'm not saying trade him, but he's up for being traded. He's not untouchable. Let's get it straight. Your young talent right now that's coming up for a contract is literally Laramie Tunsil. Everybody else on the squad that's coming up for a contract is touchable. This is just my opinion, okay? This is my opinion about it. So when y'all start getting into debates with people about should we trade Xavier Howard and this and that and this, again, I'm the type of person that says just don't give him the deal this offseason. Give him a deal 7 games into the season after you saw 7 games. In the third year. That's my stance. So I don't want people to think that, you don't want to pay X. I want to pay X after I see him 7 games in his third season or 4th season. That's what I want. So I just want to be clear on that for all y'all who has this misperception of you don't want to pay anybody. That's not the case. You only give the big contract to players that are solidified. No questions. I don't care that they're young and they're talent and they could be even better. You give the big contract to the guy who is the guy, not the guy who shows the guy potential. That's all I keep saying. My price for X would be $19 million a year if he goes then that we trade him for late first round pick in this year's draft. Anthony Manzano, man, when am I ever going to get you off of offering these above the top contracts? Matter of fact, you're trying to pay Xavier Howard $19 million a year, which is $3.5 million more than any cornerback in the entire league. And we all know we can name at least 2 or 3 cornerbacks better than Xavier Howard. We can name 2 or 3 cornerbacks that is better than Xavier Howard. Matter of fact, even more than that, y'all. Matter of fact, if y'all think there's cornerbacks out there better than Xavier Howard, put their name in the chat section. Put their name in the chat section. Why? No, don't delete your comment, Anthony. Don't delete it, man. Don't delete the comment, but don't say 19 million, man. Don't say 19 million. You're just way out of the ballpark, man. Here's the problem. Is that what Xavier Howard thinks, or his agent telling him in his ear? I don't care. These are grown men. If an agent is speaking for you, you might as well be the one speaking. If your agent is speaking for you, you might as well be the one speaking. He's your representative. He has the right to speak on your behalf. It don't matter who's saying it. And that's just what it is, man. I'm not saying get rid of him. No more than 15 mil. I don't even know about 15, y'all. I'm telling y'all, what the kid's value is right now is about 13 million, and that's being generous. That's being generous. That is being generous. We're only looking at it from a Dolphin standpoint. See, this is what we're doing, y'all. Let me tell you, and once again, I hate to do this because we're gonna talk about this, okay? I'm gonna act like I'm Bill Belichick right now. Hey, Belichick, you want to sign Xavier and re-sign Xavier Howard on a long-term deal? Yeah, I mean, go ahead and offer him $10 million a year. That's what Belichick thinking. And you know what? Since we're Dolphin fans and he's one of the only things that we have on the roster, we automatically give him like a $5 million bump. You see what we do? You see what our organization does, our fan base? Somebody who's worth one thing, but since he's a Miami Dolphin and he's all we got, and we got to solidify the talent, we got to secure the talent. So go ahead and up him by more than a couple of million. But they gave Gilmore a big contract. You're missing it. You're missing it. They gave Gilmore a big contract because they had, first of all, they had the money to play around with. They had the money to play around with and offer him the big money. But if you notice how his deal is structured, the Patriots are still winning. Because I don't even think Gilmore gets the big money this year. I think it goes down to like 9 or 10 million. But it's years where he gets even more. The way that is structured, man. And when you talk about a team that has this amount of holes, and I wonder, who's better, Gilmore or Xavier Howard? Y'all let me know in the comment section. And please, if you're a real football fan, don't even talk about interceptions. Please don't talk about interceptions. See, some people you'll be like, who's better, this player or this player? They're going to look at stats. He had 9 interceptions. He had 6. He's better. Look at this. So they can do the same and structure it. Gilmore, of course. X. Gilmore. Howard, no doubt. X. Gilmore. X is better. I'm going to tell y'all this now, okay? Y'all can disagree all you want. Gilmore is a better cornerback than Xavier Howard, okay? Gilmore is a better cornerback than Xavier Howard. And at the end of the day, I'm going to be honest and say, I'm not going to say that they're far off, like Gilmore's way better. You know my scale, 1 to 10. I'm not saying Gilmore is a 10, but if he was a 10 and Xavier Howard is an 8. And just to help some of y'all out, 8.4. How about that? Gilmore was top talent coming out of college. Men lie, women coming out of college. What? Oh, wait, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. You're right. Hashtag Lil Wayne. I think so, because X instincts is better than his. Why is X instincts better than his? Why do you think that? Because that's one of those media terms. It's a toss-up because Gilmore gives up more yardage than Howard, but not many touchdowns. So it's a toss-up. I think they will give him 14.5. Listen, I have the full confidence the Dolphins are going to sign Xavier Howard. Let me say that first. They're going to sign him, okay? My whole point in all this is at what cost? And is that cost right or wrong? That's all I'm saying, and I'm trying to encourage people to start thinking about that. Okay? Anthony Feliso with the donation. I want a new QB. It's easier, Flores, to mold him than someone that's already established. Hey, that's true. The problem with the quarterback situation, we have so many options. You might see another rookie brought in, a rookie next year, and Fitzpatrick is under contract for this year and next year. It's just, I don't know. I hope our quarterback situation don't turn into an ugly one. That's what I'm hoping, Anthony, but we'll see, man. Let's continue, man. I want to continue on this audio because I want y'all to hear everything that was said, okay? Because there's something here that I totally disagree with that kind of irks me. Here we go.
Ready to win.
Bro. Oh, one moment. It's hooking up now. Numbers don't always tell the truth. Of course they don't. Instant like, how far in the show are we? We just getting started somewhat. I think they should pay him 14 mil, 2 year, and see. I don't know. He's not looking for no 2-year deal. He wants a 4-year deal, period. 4-year deal, period. And that's the risk that we're talking about, being on the hook, long-term, big money. That's what I keep stressing. All right, here we go.
That's the question. And that's the question. They're saying yes. So we'll see. That's part of their master plan.
It's unhealthy. Here's my problem with this whole.
Watch this.
It's unhealthy that you let your best talent continue to lead the organization.
It's unhealthy you let your best talent continue to lead.
The NFL lock up their better talent. And I'm not saying you can argue that maybe they're overpaying for everybody.
They don't. The Patriots don't lock up.
Don't stop using the Patriots.
All right, we'll pause. Omar says the best teams in the NFL lock up their best talent. And Dave's just shaking his head because when I was first listening to it, I was shaking my head too. Okay? And then he comes out and says, the Patriots don't. And Omar says, stop using the Patriots. And I say, why not? I don't get it. Why not? For the life of me. Let me finish. Let me let y'all hear some more, and then I'll talk about it.
They're the best.
Oh, man, I keep on disconnecting it. All right, here we go.
They make good, smart. They do what the Dolphins did this year, which is line up a lot of back end of the draft picks, and they fill out the back end of their roster very well.
The Patriots trade away their back end of the draft because they don't have value for those players. They go out and they sign everybody's leftovers or claim everybody's leftovers or trade for everybody's leftovers and build a good team because they've got Bill Belichick, a Hall of Fame coach, first ballot, and Tom Brady, a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. There is nothing that they do that's transferable to any organization, and it bothers me that this Patriots are constantly in the Dolphins' mouth.
Woo!
So
Boy, I felt like you was talking to me. It bothers me when the Patriots are always in the Dolphins' mouth. I want to talk about what he just said, okay? First of all, he says that that's a lie. Patriots don't get any value in the later rounds. They always trade out. And he's right about that. A lot of times the Patriots trade out and they get all these late picks, but then they flip those late picks into early picks for the future, which is a great situation to be in. It's kind of like this year. They got 6 picks in the first 6 rounds. How do you do that? And in the first 3 rounds, sorry. How do you do that? That's amazing. You got 6 picks in the first 3 rounds. Do you know what kind of talent they can get? So I agree with him there. But where I totally, vehemently disagree is when he says nothing that the Patriots do can transform to any other franchise because they have Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. That's where I totally disagree. So you mean to tell me when you go back, when you sit back, right? Put it like this, guys. Say there's 32 teams in the NFL, and the NFL's only been alive for 10 years, just hypothetically. The NFL started back in 2009. It's a 10-year league. It just started, okay? And the Patriots won 10 Super Bowls. Let's just hypothetically say that's the case. They won 10 Super Bowls. Do you mean to tell me every single team is not allowed to look at the Patriots and say, this is what they're doing, that's what we need to do? They're not allowed to do that because what they are doing does not transform, according to Omar, to any other team in the NFL because they have Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. You know what that tells me? That's lazy to me. That's, even though we know that's the right way, we're going to find our own way. Instead of saying, let's do it the right way too, let's just try to do it better. It's like the person that always has to go against the grain just so that they can feel special, even though they've been losing for the last 10 years. And they just can't figure it out. It's like a level of stubbornness. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of Dolphin fans have that stubbornness. They don't want to hear nothing about the Patriots. They think just because we got Flores, we're going to become the Patriots. No, we're not going to become the Patriots. But that doesn't mean the foundation and the agenda that they have in place isn't the right one. So what's wrong with going off of that? And let me take a step further on this. They have Bill Belichick and Brady, so nothing anybody else does can transform to that. So is it a crime for a team to say, we looking for a franchise quarterback just as good as Brady? You mean to tell me we should stop looking for a quarterback as good as Brady because it's Brady and nobody can transform to that? What sense does that make? Is it wrong for us to say, oh, well, they got legendary Bill Belichick, so we shouldn't try to do it that way because we ain't got no Belichick. Don't you want your coach, don't you aspire for your coach to be as legendary eventually as Bill Belichick? I don't get it. For the life of me, I don't get it when people say we need to stop trying to be the Patriots. I do not understand that. In the emotional term, yeah, we don't want to be like them. But in the X's and O's, in the strategy and game plan on how you want to build your franchise, what is wrong with trying to be like them? For the life of me. And it's these Dolphin fans that's in their feelings, man. They in their feelings. It's like they hate the, and ain't nothing wrong with that. This is actually going to sound pretty good. They hate the Patriots so much that they hate the Patriots more than they love the Dolphins. But that's what it's starting to translate to. And that's where the problem comes. When you hate a team more than you love your own. What's wrong with getting in them trenches and say, I'm going to do what you do, but do it better. Watch this. That's the biggest one up. That's how you one up the Patriots. But no, I got to be a boss, I got to do it my way and beat the Patriots. And then wonder why it don't work. For the life of me, it makes no sense. Stop talking about we ain't got Belichick and Brady, so we need to try to stop being come on, man. What Flores here for? What is Flores? And I ain't talking about Flores in terms of he's here to be Belichick. No. But Flores is here to be as good as Belichick or even better when time tells its story. That should be the goal. So we shouldn't be talking about, no, this is the reason they're doing it, so stop making it seem like it doesn't transfer to any other team. That's laziness. That's a cop-out and laziness. And I ain't getting no Omar, but he just straight up, I ain't going to say he wrong because every man's entitled to his opinion. He just straight up, I totally disagree with that. Totally disagree. And Dave is kind of like disagreeing too, like, no. At the end of the day, they're doing it right. They're doing it right. And then he says they don't let go any team. The winning formula is not to let go any of their great players on their team. And Dave said, the Patriots do it. Can you stop using the Patriots? We can't let go great players on our team that's going to cost us more, is what he's saying. It don't make sense. It does not make sense. And you wonder why we keep losing because of this type of mentality. You have to have a sound game plan all around. You have to. And we're here, and don't get me wrong, plenty of teams have tried to do it the Patriots way. But you know what messed them up a lot of times? Man, we're following that path and we're getting better. But look, this player right here is legit and he wants $18 million and they go ahead and give it to him. And then 2 years later, it's like the Patriots way ain't working. Let's scrap it. No, you didn't even follow it to the T. You gave that player right there $18 million that shouldn't have got more than 14. But you want to say you did it the Patriots way. You got to do every single thing to the T the winning way. If y'all don't want me to say the name Patriots, I won't. I'll just replace it with winning way. You got to do everything the winning way to see if it works. That's just point blank. I would love to see the Dolphins make a serious run in spite of what the league says. Of course, we all would. But how are we going to do it if we don't do it the right way? You have to sit down in that front office and say, this is what we stand for. These are our principles. Principle number 1. Never overpay for a player, not even a little. Not even a little. What is his value? That's what he gets. And I'll be fair. What is his value at the higher end? And that's what he gets. But we keep on signing players to not their value at the higher end, but above their value. And even at the higher end of that. It's crazy. That's number 1. Pay players what they are worth. Not what they demand because of the market. There's a difference. If you worth $14 million, you worth $14 million. But since it ain't many of y'all available, in order for me to get you, I got to pay 17. You don't do that. You don't do that in the NFL if you want to win long term. You just don't do it. You don't do it. Okay? Number 2, find your talent in the draft. Find all this free agency. Free agency ain't nothing but an opportunity for players to get overpaid. Why you think they love entering free agency? Especially if they're great. Number 3, make sure we have a coaching staff that can develop young talent. When is the last time we had a coaching staff that developed anyone? I'll wait while I sip. When is the last time we had a coaching staff that could develop anyone? And you're right, David, that is the bottom line. That should have been number 1. When have you had a coaching staff that developed anyone? Shula, you're right. But in the sense of what I'm talking about is last 20 years. That's the sense of what I'm talking about. Number 3, when you find that talent and you develop that young talent, get our books so in order that by the 3rd year of that young talent that we've already developed, go find their replacement. 3rd year in. Xavier Howard's replacement should be drafted right now, regardless if we're going to keep Xavier Howard or not. That's how far ahead we got to get. That's how far behind we are. We trying to fill 35 spots on the roster. The Patriots, literally, to me, they have a core of what they want. And when they go in the draft, they might fill 2 holes for a primary, and the rest of their picks are backups to players they already have. Let me reiterate this one because it's important, and I need y'all to understand this. Minkah Fitzpatrick just played his rookie year. Next year will be Minka's second year. In 2021, the beginning of Minka's third year, in April, before his third year, you should be drafting his replacement. And what I'm trying to get y'all to understand, it doesn't mean we're replacing Minkah. It does not mean we're replacing Minkah. But we should be drafting his replacement. We should be drafting. And here's why. You have a safety net. Number one, it provides young, talented depth. That's number one, behind Minkah. Number two, Minkah gets in that contract conversation. I'm a former first-round pick. It's time for me to get my new deal. Matter of fact, I want me a 5-year, $80 million. And you as an organization might say, that's too much. We can't afford that. We're not going to give it to you. And he already knows I got my replacement sitting behind me. I can't be too cocky about things. And even if he leaves in free agency, we maintain our standards. Number one, never overpay for a player. And it also gives you more leverage in the offseason after year 3, going into year 4, to re-up a deal where you're not getting ridiculously murdered in the deal. You might actually strike a deal that's fair to both sides. Because now we get to gauge if you really want to stay in Miami or not. And we give you a deal a year early. And now if you are able to get him on a good deal and you re-sign Minkah Fitzpatrick, now look, you still got great depth. Not only do you have great depth, you might even have a good trade asset in the guy that you drafted behind him. And we literally wonder why the Patriots have 6 picks in the first 3 rounds this year, coming off of a Super Bowl. 6 picks in the first 3 rounds, coming off of a Super Bowl. And we wonder how. Because when they re-sign Minkah Fitzpatrick, they take that back up and say, you great, but we went ahead, we reached a reasonable deal with Minkah. We're going to trade you for a 3rd-round pick. That asset you had sitting there that was a great backup all that time. Because we're not going to give you that next big contract because we already read up on Minkah. Or we're going to go ahead and trade Minkah for a 2nd-round pick or maybe a 1st, depending on how good he is. And now we move his replacement up. Do you see why they maintain assets and win? They maintain assets and win. And the only reason they do that is because they always draft some of their best players' replacements. You think Jimmy Garoppolo was there for no reason when Belichick drafted him in the 2nd round? I know that caused a controversy and they end up getting Garoppolo out of there, but the same thing happened. If we're able, it was the same situation, y'all. I know the media made it one thing about, they wanted Jimmy Garoppolo and get rid of Brady. No, they were just following their protocol. They were following protocol, which was never overpay for a player. Brady's coming up on another deal. Hey, Brady, man, you going to be nice to us again? And Brady, of course, he was nice. He was nice. Another pay cut. Send Garoppolo off and get assets. Same thing. If Brady was too much, you might have seen something that y'all ain't got to believe me when I say Brady might have not even been in New England winning that Super Bowl last year. Garoppolo would have been a starter. Garoppolo would have been. They ain't showing no favoritism. And I know the media made it out, oh, they drafted Garoppolo because of this and that, and they were trying to get rid of Brady and all this and that. Whether they were trying to get rid of Brady or not, that was protocol for them. TD said a few months ago we was keeping Tannehill. We were. We were keeping him until the very moment. And OG Boogay, don't start that with me today. Because at the end of the day, we were keeping Tannehill until the moment Stephen Ross, which was the day after the regular season and the night of the regular season ending, when he decided to fire Gase. He didn't even know if he was going to fire Gase. He didn't know until that moment, and that moment decided, okay, we're probably about to transition into a rebuild. And that was before a few months ago. And I maintain my story of nobody knows if we keeping him or not. It's a lot of speculation. And like Greer came out and said on the record, Tannehill wasn't a mistake. It's simple as that. Dude, they was going to trade for the Lions QB. What are you talking about? They were going to trade, but nobody and nowhere in the report said that Ryan Tannehill was going to get traded for the Lions QB. You see what you're doing, OG Boogame? You becoming just like the mainstream media, making speculations out of what you read. Ain't not one report said that they were going to trade Tannehill. No report said they were going to trade Tannehill for the Lions QB. And a matter of fact, the time whenever they even call about the Lions QB is when Tannehill went down because they still wanted to salvage the season and try to make it a winning season. So what are you talking about? And at the end of that season, they would have made a decision on who they would have went with at quarterback. And they might have scrapped both of them. So you don't know what you're talking about in this regard. You're trying to make speculations to bring up more Tannehill talk. Tannehill is gone. I mean, the crazy thing is, it's like I done got over it before a lot of y'all. Tannehill is gone. He old news. He ain't even a part of the conversation anymore. There were no speculations. Everyone knew Tannehill was leaving, either cut or trade. When? That's the problem, college man. You say everybody knew, but when did they know? You mean to tell me in game one of the regular season they knew Tannehill was gone? Then why wasn't he gone before the season? Y'all don't know what you're talking about right now. You don't know what you're talking about right now. Talk about everybody knew he was gone. Nobody knew he was gone until Stephen Ross literally fired Gase because Stephen Ross didn't even know if he was going to fire Gase off season. Well, that makes more sense. I just wasn't believing all the rumors. I wasn't believing all the rumors. He was hurt. They wouldn't trade for him. Who was hurt? What are you talking about? Oh, my point exactly. That's even proof. Thank you, Terrence. Why would the Lions trade for Tannehill if he was hurt? It didn't make any sense. You didn't make it. It doesn't make any sense. TD, everyone knew, bro. Come on. Everybody did know, man. Third season, bro. After off season. Oh, I think that's what you meant. Off season. Everybody speculated, man. They didn't know. The only reason is because they start purging contracts, man. After the Vikings game, he was gone. Okay, to you, he was. Anyway, man, TD, admit you was wrong about Tannehill. I'm still trying to figure out what I was wrong about. I never out of my mouth said Tannehill will never be traded. Tannehill will never be gone. Never said that. I said stop listening to everybody saying he gone because they don't know. Remember how many times I shouted out, you're guessing. Just like, and I even shouted out about myself. I say Tannehill might still be here. I'm guessing. Y'all trolling, man. Because matter of fact, y'all just need to go back, listen to the film. That way y'all can just stop, man. Yeah, you guessed right. OG Boo Game, that's the first thing you got right in this chat. We guessed right. If that's what you want me to say, y'all guessed right. Is that what y'all wanted me to say? To make y'all feel better? Joe Biden is a child molester, bro. Oh, Lord. College man, ha, ha, ha. College man to everyone. Henry Smith, we have to create a winning culture and a powerful system. Then we also would have 6 picks in the first 3 rounds. I agree, but it takes those steps. You have to do that. You have to go draft a player's replacement 3 years in. 3 years in. You draft that first round pick, 3 years later, you need to go ahead and draft his replacement, whether you're going to keep him or not. TD, if Jalen Ramsey is on a trading block, what would you give up for Jalen Ramsey? And if we get Jalen, he our new boundary corner, then we move X to second corner. Of course, you're going to move him to second corner. What would I get up for Jalen Ramsey? That's a great question, man. That is a great question. I would give up a first-round pick for Jalen Ramsey. Long as it's not a top 10 pick, I would give a first-round pick for Jalen Ramsey. Right now, I would. The problem is I wouldn't this very second because of the situation. I would rather a first-round defensive tackle over Jalen Ramsey. But if I had the assets, I would part ways with a mid-round, first-round pick for Jalen Ramsey, for sure. We guessed right. Yes, you did. Ain't no guessing. Man, you preaching. They throwing you off with this T. Hill talk. I know, man. It's a waste of my time. He's gone. He ain't even relevant anymore. Even a blind dog finds a bone every now and then, TD. I give you one, Daniel. Daniel, I give you one better, man. Instead of using it, even a blind dog finds a bone every now and then, I love the one where they say a broke clock is right twice a day. I love that one better. I'm just happy the bum Tannehill is gone. We all happy. We're moving on to a whole new era, man. And I think this era is doing it the right way. With Tannehill on our roster, we weren't going to be doing that. We weren't going to be doing that with a high-paid quarterback and everything. He wasn't the guy. Tannehill was not the guy for the direction we're headed. But if we were staying on the direction we were before, I would have still loved to have him on the roster. But based off of what the direction we're heading and what we're trying to do, he definitely wasn't the guy. It's crazy people hate Tannehill so much, they still hating on him while he's gone. You're right, man. But hey, man, to each his own. That's just how people are, man. 2 number 2s. Miguel, I thought 2 number 2s at first. My first thought was 2 number 2s, but I'm going to be honest, that's too much to me. I'll give a second and a third. Ronnie Groom, shout out to you. Donald and Irene Young, shout out for the donation. I appreciate y'all love and support to this channel. They gave $10, no message. Next time, let me know if you want to say something so I can let everybody know. But shout out to y'all for helping the channel grow. I appreciate that. And all y'all who not subscribed to TV Fans Talk, hit that subscribe button and press that like button. 53 in the room, 28 likes, y'all. 7 years of Dolphins. Tannehill waster, 7 years of Dolphin football. Okay, anyway, moving on. All right, let me play some more of this audio, y'all. But once again, recap, we got to make sure we stick to our winning formula going forward. We can't deviate from that. And guys, I'm not saying we're not going to deviate here and there, but I'm going to be the one to call it out. There's going to be times we get a big-time player and overpay him. Okay, we got the player. I'm happy. Let's see what we do, but I'm going to call it out. People are going to be like, why are you hating on this move? I'm not hating on it. I'm calling it out and supporting it at the same time because we have no choice. As a fan base, you got to support whatever they do, but ain't nothing wrong with calling it out. So when we get out of what we're trying to do, I'm calling it out, man. All right, here we go, man. OG Boogang say we need to vent, TD. I know. That's why I entertain it sometimes, man. I want 2 offensive linemen in the first 5 rounds. That's not going to happen. It shouldn't happen. I'm telling y'all, defensive tackle first round. Second round, we probably going to O-lineman. Third round, we might be finding a quarterback that, once again, ain't going to show up in any mocks. Fourth round, I couldn't imagine. Flip-flop those. Third and fourth round, it can go either way. Linebacker or quarterback. It's going to happen. Linebacker or quarterback. Because they have to touch another linebacker in this draft. They have to. They have to touch another linebacker in this draft. And you might even see a sighting of another cornerback. It's not far-fetched that we'll get 2 offensive linemen in the first 5 rounds. I just can't see it happening for the simple fact when you got a draft that's loaded with defense the way that this one is. It's hard to pass on that, man. Chris knows. That looks about my projection, but I'll swap the D in with the D tackle. I'll swap the D in with the D tackle. That's kind of right down the alley of what I'm thinking, except that 5th and 6th round. Except that 5th and 6th round. 5th round, I could see another cornerback. 6th round, you might be right on a running back. You might be right. 2 offensive linemen, 2 defensive linemen, 1 linebacker. They're getting a quarterback in the first 5 rounds. In the 5 rounds, they're going to take a quarterback. That I feel very confident about. If it don't happen, shocking, but that I feel confident about. Some quarterback is going to be drafted on that roster in the first 5 rounds. Rookie is not better than vets. Facts. We know. Well, it depends. I mean, I don't get what you're saying. Rookie's not better than vets. Mika Fitzpatrick was better than plenty vets last year in the league. So what do you mean? I don't know what you mean, Rodney. But if I'm gonna assume what you mean, then yeah, typically rookies shouldn't be better than vets. But you gotta get rookies because they offer a low salary. Not only do they offer a low salary, they have a much better upside if you're the type of coach that can develop players. D tackle, offensive line, QB, cornerback. You mean to tell me you only got 1 defensive player in the first 4 rounds, Josh? With all his defensive talent in this draft? See, y'all can't lose sight of that. This draft is loaded with defense. You cannot lose sight of that. Why would you pass up on the prime picks, the premium picks, just to go fill a need? No, you go get some of the best because they are needs too. They're needs too. We can need a right guard more than anything in the world. But if one of the best defensive tackles is available, you go get your D tackle. Too much in this draft to be passing up on. And I know that sounds crazy coming from a team who desperately needs an O-line. Desperately. But with all this defensive talent, that's scary. Now, don't get me wrong. Here's what y'all got to consider as well. There's so much defensive talent in this draft that so many people are going to go after the defensive talent. I still can't rule it out. I don't like even saying it, but I can't rule out us going offensive line in the first round because we might end up getting one of the top 2 offensive linemen in the entire draft because of so much defensive talent. So there's the first pick, there's so many things that can happen. And I'll answer the question that was asked, am I in favor of trading up or trading down? I am more in favor of trading down if we could flip it to 2 first-round picks. Because you get 2 swings at a lot of great young talent. I'll take a 26th and a 29th pick overall instead of the 13. Because I'll still find a good defensive tackle in that and a good offensive guard or DN. I don't know. Or, and what I've been trying to say to y'all is this. I'll take a 24 and a 29. And then I'll take that 24 and I'll take a 3rd rounder and try to get back up in the teens. I'll try to get the number 10 pick. I'll try to take that number 24 and the 3rd rounder and see if I can move up to 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, somewhere like that. Scrap a 3rd, get back in the 1st, and have a later 1st. There's so much we can do. Trade Rashad, too much dead cap going to hit us for Rashad. And then you got to find a trade partner. Nobody's going to want to take that on. That's the problem with trading Rashad. If you find a taker, beautiful. But it's hard to imagine somebody's actually going to take that on at his age. We already lead the league in dead cap. You trade Rashad, oh my gosh, it'll be unprecedented dead cap. Literally about 30% of our cap would be dead cap. That means going into this year, we'd only be able to use 70% of our cap. But the beautiful thing about that is we don't have any more big contracts, so we don't need that much cap. And we're bringing in a whole bunch of rookies and undrafted so we can afford it because everybody's getting not major, huge deals. Do a trade like Tannehill. This is different. Rashad Jones's is different. Rashad Jones got more guaranteed on his. Much more. Rashad Jones will hit you hard on the cap. Hard. And he's not going to scrap his contract because he has the leverage. Quinn and Tannehill ripped their contract up for the Dolphins. Rashad Jones, his contract, he got the leverage. Why would I rip it up? No matter what, I'm going to get at least $15 million out of all of this and go re-sign with somebody. So why would he? That would be ridiculous for him. So it's going to be now after this year, it's all fair game. We're good. And he's still going to be under contract, but we still be good. It's not as bad. Jones trade happens next year, man. That is exactly what I was just saying. Was Cameron Wake bad for you guys last year? No, Cameron Wake wasn't bad. Bob Money, I don't know if you're a San Francisco fan. Hold on, y'all. Y'all let me know. See, and it's crazy that I don't even remember. Once you're going for the Dolphins, I don't worry about you too much. But where did Cam Wake go again? Y'all let me know. Where did Cam Wake go again? Was it San Francisco? Because I got a San Francisco logo asking. Tennessee. Maybe you're asking for that reason. Titans. Bob, he wasn't bad last year. Him and Robert Quinn wasn't. Cowboys got to steal. Okay? Cam Wake and Robert Quinn were good steals for the Titans and the Cowboys, and here's why. You can't look at Cam Wake and Quinn's production last year as face value because as soon as our two defensive tackles went out in that interior, every team sent blitzes up the middle, and not only did they send blitzes up the middle, they were able to double team the only two weapons we had on the defensive line, which was Cam Wake and Robert Quinn. And even when they weren't getting double teamed, they forced these guys outside on every possession. And not only did they force them outside, the left tackle and the right tackle against those guys, they only had one assignment. A left tackle never had to worry about Quinn over there coming inside. The left tackle in most time, when I watch film, when I watch the left tackle against Quinn in almost every game after those injuries, the left tackle, the first thing they did, down, said, hut, they stepped left. They didn't even worry about if he was doing a swim move inside because their main focus was secure the outside, force him inside, because if he comes inside, I got help. You know why? Every single team we played after week 5, and when I say every, I do mean every. Every team we played ran at least 80% of their plays had a minimum of 6 offensive linemen because they knew, first of all, our defensive line couldn't get to us. And since we couldn't get there, let's make sure they can't get there even longer. So left tackle and right tackle, go outside every time. If they spin inside, that extra tight end, you got them. Technically, to be honest with you, there weren't even left guards. It wasn't even a left tackle and a left and a right tackle. They had a lot tight end on the outside and a tight end on the outside. Tight ends was going left, making sure that they don't get around the corner. The left tackle was just sitting there inside waiting and helping on the inside. So it was just a bad situation for them. They had to bust they behind with 0 results. They got some sacks. They had some results. But you cannot look at their play as face value. They are steals. The Titans just benefited. big time at a good price. The Cowboys benefited big time. So you can't look at their production and put it on them from last year, okay? The beauty of the wife nine. You mean the Y9? Yeah, but I'm not opposed to the Y9 though. In a situation where your defensive tackles are legit, if your defensive tackles are legit, the Y9 ain't. I mean, it's not bad. Is that a B? Yeah, it is. Just asking because I didn't hear anything from him last season. It makes sense because you guys rebuilding. Yeah, it was cutting those big contracts. It was going to be another year of the same, man. Anyone know if Hayes is coming back? I thought we already know about Hayes' situation. Hold on, let me make sure I ain't wrong. Sorry if you covered that. No, you're good. You're good. Who you like in the first? Ed, TD, are you doing a mock draft? I might because a lot of people keep asking me to. I'm not sure about William Hayes. One thing I will tell you is the fact that he got to be like 34 years old, 33 or going on 34. So I'm not sure what they're gonna do. TD, are you doing a mock draft? Yo, TD, notice me? Yes, I do. What up, Matthew? Please do one, man. You are my source of info here in Connecticut. All right, man. You just sealed it, Joshua, man. I'll do some extra research tonight, and then hopefully I'll have a time tomorrow or Saturday, and we're gonna do a mock, man. What time is it where you're at? It's 3:42 right now. 3:42 at this time. Yeah, man. I love the logo, Matt. Josh Feldman. All right, I got you, bro. I got you for sure, man. All right, let me try to finish this out before we get out of here, man.
Dave, you see what you started? We started a monster here.
Here's the thing. If you think that you're going to get the Patriots organization because you got Brian Flores,
you're simply not.
You're not, because you don't have anybody think that.
Nobody said we were.
I think it's a blueprint that you want to build off. It's a blueprint that you hope.
Again, I'm going to say this one last time. It's not about trying to be the Patriots or being the Patriots. It's about recognizing the system that they have for the organization and implementing that. Implementing the system. People don't know how to separate the individuals from the system. They're two different things. Their system is literally, it is built to win. We're not trying to be the people. We're trying to execute that system. And then when I say system, once again, I'm not talking about X's and O's. I'm not talking about how, they chip the tight end here and they run underneath routes. And I'm not talking about X's and O's on the field. I'm talking about the organizational system, the principles of don't overpay, develop talent, not bring talent in and watch it play. Develop talent. Take the 6 to the 8. Take the 8 to the 10. Take the 4 to the 7. That's what I always stress when people, a lot of people think that I'm trying to advocate us being the Patriots. I don't want to be the people. I don't want to be Brady. I don't want to be Belichick. I don't want to be none of them. I don't want to be who they are and how they are. I just want to implement that system, organizational system, not X's and O's and playing system. So I just want to get that straight, okay? So when people listen to interviews like this and Omar say things like that, to make sure they understand that's not what I'm talking about, at least, as far as trying to be the Patriots. Because a lot of people have said that to me. TD, you always mention the Patriots. We stop trying to be the Patriots. We can't be the Patriots. We're not the Patriots. No, we're not. And no, we're not trying to be them, but we are trying to adopt their system of organization, how the general managers in the front office handles business. That's what we're trying to adopt. And that's what I want to adopt. I'm not running away from that. I want the Patriots system from a organizational standpoint. And nothing's wrong with that. Because truth be told, it's not the Patriots system. It's a system. The Patriots are just following it. They're just following it. And they're following it to a T. That's what I want. So when Brian Flores comes in and says things like, I don't feel we should, if he does, I'm just saying, give you an example. If he was to come in and say, I'm not paying Xavier Howard $16 million. He's not worth more than 13.5 or 14 million. That's what I want as far as the system. That's exactly what I want. So I don't want people, once again, to get that misunderstood, man. Can people stop trying to make us the Patriots? You got it wrong. Trying to make us the Patriots are just trying to get all their players. But the system is fair game. Who wrote a rule in the NFL, that said, if this is the right thing to do for an organization and that team does it, you're not allowed to do it because it makes you look too much like them. Whoever wrote that rule? Whoever wrote that rule? Don't get it, man. Are the Patriots still doing late term versus at halftime? Who that, bro? I don't know what you talking about, man. Good luck for your team next season, man. I appreciate you, Bob. TD, they just being dumbasses. Why wouldn't one emulate the best there is? For me, that's just common sense. Bill, common sense ain't common at all, though, man. That is one truth that I have come up with in my life. That is one truth that I have come up with in my life. Common sense ain't common at all. That's what's crazy to me. They need to stop just saying common sense because it ain't common. I'm good, Ronell. Y'all remember that. Common sense ain't common at all. So when you get mad at people sometimes in life and be like, gosh, that's common sense. Why would you do this? Stop. The sooner you recognize common sense ain't common at all, you'll start to look at people and not let them get to you. You'll start to be more understanding and empathetic. Even when deep down inside, you know, that is just dumb. Like, they really believe that. That's what their brain brings them to. But who are you to judge, right? And I'm not talking to you in general, but even me. Who am I to judge? Yeah, everybody got their preconceived notion, their biases in their head, and their thoughts about everything. But who are we? Who gives us that right? If people don't see it the way you see it, whether you know you're right or not, you have to live with that and don't let it bother you. That's the thing. People want to change other people. Instead of changing people, influence them. That's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to change y'all opinion. I'm not trying to tell OG Boo Game, you better believe what I believe. No, but I'm just going to keep on talking my stuff. And I'm pretty confident that I have a good influence on a lot of people. And that's all you can do in life is influence people. You can't change them. So influence to the best of your ability. And it might help some people, man. I'm good right now. You right, brother. It's not that common. Sorry, brother. No, you good. You good. It's not common at all. Not anymore. Common sense is not common at all. Tyree visiting Dolphins. Tyree Hill, you got that headline just now or something? And shout out Josh Sitton, by the way. I did see that earlier. He has officially retired. Thank you for everything you did for us. Shout out to Josh Sitton. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about Tyree, but we'll see. Would you be excited to get Russell Wilson? Is he enough to build around? Yeah, I would be excited to get Russell Wilson. And once again, a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this. To me, he's another Tannehill. And people are like, well, are you kidding me? I'm not comparing him to player like that. He's another Tannehill. He needs everything around him to be a 100 as well. Or he's not going to win a Super Bowl. That's just that's just the reality. When things suck in Seattle around him, they just, at best, wild card or playoff. Just getting in and losing first round, as you just noticed. I would like a Russell Wilson. Isn't he better than Tannehill? I would give him the nod over Tannehill because there's more proven. But to argue that, he's had an opportunity to prove more. And what I mean by that is less injuries, number one. Number two, better defenses. Number three, a better scheme to take care of him on offense. You know how I said every team ran 6 offensive linemen against Cam Wake and Quinn? Seattle's infamous for it. I don't think they got to play with under 6 linemen. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't even think they run a play under 6 linemen. Of course they do, but y'all know what I mean. Yeah, I can go out on a limb and say 70% of their plays has a minimum of 6 offensive linemen, and a lot of them 7. Wilson had that T. Hill. Wilson had what T. Hill needed. Wilson had what T. Hill needed. Yeah, defense and offensive lines around him. Did he just say Russell Wilson is the same as Tannehill? Pay homage. You're reading into it the wrong way. I actually prefer it. I'm saying the word wrong. My preface was actually showing you that I didn't even mean it like the way that you're coming across. Oh, you saying that he's the same as Tannehill? No, I actually literally, the first thing I said, I don't want y'all to get this the wrong way. I said that already. All I was saying was Russell Wilson is just like Tannehill in the sense of he's still going to need everything around him to do their job in the right way for it to work. If his O-line sucking, he got a bad defense, he's not making the playoffs. Y'all keep talking about T. Hill. He going to be a starter over where he at. He good. Yeah, he going to be fine, man. I don't even know why we even talking about him. Duke Johnson for a late rounder seems like a fit. Tyreek Hill is also visiting the Broncos and Dolphins so far. Yeah, visits. TD, to help the QB and the running backs is getting that O-line. I get that, and I agree. The problem is this year is so defense heavy. We got just as many holes on the defense as the offense. What good is it if you go get your O-line knowing that we're going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers basically in shootouts every week and coming up short on the wrong end of that with a worse defense? You start with defense, guys. As far as winning, you start with defense. Because offenses ain't going to be putting up 40 points a game anyway. I get Tyreek is a stud, but why would we be interested? Our wide receiver unit is tiny already, man. We probably interested in it because you bring a player of his caliber in regardless, and you try to find out how much you can spend. You mean to tell me if you can get Tyreek Hill for $7 million, you wouldn't go ahead and grab him? And what I mean by that is you might even want to ship Jakeem Grant off. You might want to ship somebody off for the same price. Tyreek Hill with his baggage and all of that stuff, you might get a good deal. Yeah, I keep saying Tyreek. It's Tyree, not Tyreek. And yeah, start with the defense. Yes, sir. It start with the D about Tyree. Brother just tuning in. Shout out to you, True Fins fan. Hey man, this TD Fans talk, man. I got something I got to go take care of though, y'all. I got to get out of here. But thank y'all for tuning in, man. I appreciate y'all spending this good quality time with me, about an hour and 20 minutes today on the live stream. Y'all tune in. I'm going to work on this mock draft thing that y'all keep asking about. Look at my email. I'll check it out, Matthew. This is true. Not saying don't build the D-line. Question, would you be interested in bringing back Sue? Not at that crazy contract and draft quality. Man, you almost made me sit back down, man. I got to stick to my guns. I got to get out of here, man. But to answer your question, yes, I already talked about that, man. That was like 2 or 3 videos ago or something I was talking about Ndamukong Suh. I said I wouldn't mind bringing back Sue for the right price. Before we paying nearly $30 million a year. And that means other parts of our team was hurting. And he just made $16 million on a 1 year with the Rams. So listen, I would, even at his age right now, I would not mind calling Ndamukong Suh and saying, come on back to Miami. We want to give you your end of your career contract. We want to give you a 3-year, I would even go out on a limb and say 3-year, $35 million, $20 million guaranteed. 3-year, $35 million, $20 million guaranteed. I would do that. And the reason why is because after the 2 years, I don't have to do the 3rd year if I don't want. I don't have to do the 3rd year if I don't want. 9 a year, 27 mil. And Ndamukong Suh he went to the Super Bowl, man. Not only that, he was a major contributor clogging up that middle. The only reason this would be a good option is because he's not in our long-term plans, first of all. He's not in our long-term plans. I mean, he only got a few years left in his league. And I would possibly give a 3-year, $35 million, which equates to about 12. Actually, it equates to $11.66 million a year. The only reason I would do that is because now I have that much more flexibility in my first round this year. Think about it, y'all. You got Ndamukong Suh, and hypothetically say you had William Hayes and Ndamukong Suh, right? And in the first round, you went and got a defensive end. Or the linebacker you wanted. Second round, you went and got an opposite cornerback or a defensive end. Our defense can be transformed like that. And will it happen? It ain't going to happen. But I would. I got to get out of here, man. Y'all holding me up. This TD Fans Talk. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. I'll talk to y'all soon, y'all. Y'all be easy out there. Peace.